Oh, it's just Jord.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Little Nightmares themed video. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new, newly released Little Nightmares 2 trailer. I know what you're thinking. No, we're not in a dream. The lady hasn't abducted us or anything like that. This is real. And I jumped out my seat initially when I found it. And oh my god, I am so excited. I want to do a breakdown of the trailer. So we're going to do that today, and originally I did want to plan to stream a bit of the Gamescom, because I assumed they were going to release something then, so we were preparing for it then. But to find out it's Little Nightmares 2 is absolutely crazy. It's beyond me. It's so long. It's been 2 years or something, so close to that, and we've got the second one. I am so excited to get into this trailer, but enough blabbering. Let's see what we see. Let's see if we can find out anything from this trailer and start theorizing. So I'm going to be stopping and starting quite a lot. So already we have what seems to be the beach of something, and as we see I hope this is obviously, we're going to explore the Little Nightmares theme throughout, and what's really a repetitive thing here is the TVs. That's something I've noticed straight away, and I don't want to be too over the top already, but I want to say they're sort of like connection things, maybe, is like a real over-the-top exaggeration of what they could be. But we see Six actually lying on the floor here. Well, we assume it's Six because she's wearing the hood. You'll see later on in the trailer she actually puts it over her hair, and you'll see who it is in the end. So let's continue. Bandai Namco. And it looks like, to me, somewhat Seven. So I know I really want to go out on the limb, and I don't know if they want to kind of explain the story of initially with the sausage scene. Maybe we could go really far-fetched and say maybe this is Seven, or he escaped, or some malarkey, or got turned back. But no, I don't think that's actually what happened at all. I think we have a new character here, a new little boy who's actually escaped with Six, or whoever is supposedly Six. But they're playing with the good old more music eye, and it seems to be a sort of bedroom of some sort. So I assume this is where you start, maybe in the game. The good old logo, hail Tarsia Studios and Bandai. And then we have them both together, which is it's so interesting that we see it in the background as well. And I'll zoom it, I'll show you here on the mouse. There is actually a teddy that I've never seen in the original or anything in that sort of regards. So that's a new interesting toy. We also have the original toy that we saw earlier, you know, the bit. And then we've got a potential Six character. I feel like this is going to be a female version, but whether that's Six, I don't know. The coat looks a bit more run down than usual. Still no shoes, so it could well be Six. But with that coat, it looks a little bit damaged. It looks discolored to be Six's coat. And I think further in the trailer, we do actually see a bit of a better coat condition. Maybe it depends on, maybe this is, I don't know, maybe if it's a two-player thing. Maybe this is a selectable character you can be or whatever. But this guy does look totally in the theme of Seven or Runaway Kid, however you want to say it. So I believe these are going to be new two characters, I believe. But maybe so much as the Six sort of like person maybe isn't. But they've got that going. And this is where I sort of start to say, well, yes, maybe that is actually Six. So regardless of what I did say, I assume it's going to be a new character just from the condition of the coat. But what I'm assuming is we're seeing Six, or whoever this is, and I assume it is Six, but just to be safe, we're not 100% until we really analyze this and, you know, go over the top with it. But from the look of it, it looks like we're seeing Six, or, well, I'll call it Six, so it's just easier. So we see Six in a lot of different conditions throughout this game. And from what you can see already, you can sort of see a progression in the game from the condition of the coat, for example. So here it looks a little bit better. From back here, it doesn't look so good. So where were we? It doesn't look so good here. It looks very dry and dirty and all that. But this time, it looks a little bit more like Six than we used to. Like she's just come off the beach and going into the woods sort of thing. And what's really interesting is the tellies that are lit up. Well, TVs. But the fact that they're still lit up, it kind of reminds me of the whole end game, the ending of the Runaway Kids chapter with the TV lighting up. And I feel like that is somehow connected, or it's going to be one of those portal things, if you haven't read through the comics and stuff. Like the mirrors of the were a portal, and I think they're actually going to be doing the same thing through TVs and stuff. Maybe. I don't know, that's an exaggeration. You get that zoom up shot on the TV. Notice how the only TV that is lit up and working is the one without the crack on the front. So as you can see here, this one has the crack in it. It's not working. This one's damaged and everything, but still works because the mirror of the TV is fine. And then we get into a new area. So I think everything we're going to see is new. End of. It looks like they definitely are diving back into the world of Little Nightmares and like a city habitable by people. And I wonder if this is going to be how they wanted to originally make the city a metronome. And we're going to see a lot of features in that. But this is really cool. It looks like Six is coming out on like a fence just to go into a sort of house where they've got, you know, clothes hanging up like a normal house, a bit of suitcases here and there. Got cans, beans, whatever you want to call it, drinks, and go through that window, I reckon. Or we got the recognisable handle that we're going to be jumping on again. But if we look here, the coat's got a little bit more design to it than originally, and I just wonder if it's sort of. I want them to kind of be teasing us a bit. So, as you see, it's got the hook here and stuff, and you see lots of little bits. I don't think it's going to be Six, especially with the paper head. But it's really intriguing. I'm so back and forth between it being Six and someone else completely. But if we go again, here's what looks to be like a new character or something along that lines. This definitely doesn't look like Six. But we could well be wrong. But to be honest, yet again, the discoloration of the coat, it looks an awful lot like it may be further on in the game. And as you see, a little doorway towards this like somewhat city of wherever they are at the moment. And yet again, we have another telly that is on and showing the connection between the... But here you have the telly showing the sort of connection of the worlds. Yet again, it's working, it's on. Is this maybe how you go back and forth between levels? Who knows? And then we have an interesting new character that maybe have took a note from Baldy. It seems to be some sort of teacher, but it seems to be an authority figure again that's sort of got the old ruler out, and it must be in some sort of school or anything sort of close to that. And here we go back to the old, remember in Little Nightmares, the original Little Nightmares, I think what bothers me the most is I reckon they've been planning Little Nightmares 2 from Little Nightmares 1. I mean, if you look up here, you'll really recognise it. Because when we look through all the theory, when we did all the theory videos and they've got pictured frames of like clothes hanging, this is exactly where it's coming from. Like if you comparison, they are so close together. And obviously we've got Six to be is running across, nice and fabulous. But here was where we go. This is where I get the bit of confusion, because look at the condition of this coat when she puts it on. And I do wonder if this is, as you can see on the floor here, this is not the original holder of the coat. So this is not Six, and this is Six, but this is not Six's coat. And, you know, how this character of some sort, and I don't think it is Six. The more I watch the trailer back and forth, the more I lean to it's not Six. I would be interested to see what you guys think about this. Do you reckon it's Six or not? The way it's going at the moment, I really don't think it is, but it's just easier to call it Six at this moment. But so we have this rip-off Six, let's say, taking off a piece of clothing and then putting the coat back on. And obviously, as you can see, as we go a bit further back again, this coat, whoever's wearing this is discoloured here anyway. So who's to say that that's not this? And then they're changing into the Six outfit. But that is so cool. I wonder if this is basically going to be between Very Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares again. I wonder if this is the bit in between. But with that being said, we get a new character of some sorts. And if you ask me, we're back to the old over-the-skin face people. As you can see, we've got chef fingers again. This looks kind of like a butcher to me. And I wonder if it's somewhat based off the wax Bauman they originally teased in the original. So, because you can sort of see the drooping of the face, if you will. But what's more interesting is the actual world itself. This, for example, has got me excited. I feel like this is going to be connected to the whole eye thing across the Little Nightmares universe. It's just going to be, I think it's really cool. Like, I want to do some more videos about it. So we'll just analyze the trailer for today, and we'll do some more videos in the future about it. But another thing that's really, really cool is this. And I don't know what throws me off more about it is the height of these people. Are they kids? It's hard to, but it's these shapes, as you can see here. It seems to be a very common theme that everyone seems to be quite disfigured, if you will. And I wonder why. It's just we looks like we have a female model here, and then a male, female. But they all seem to be doing the same sort of thing, and it's waiting. Apart from that one, he seems to be losing it a bit. But what's really, 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 really cool is the inclusion of I wish we could see. I assume these are kids, and this is a TV. So we're being connected to these TVs again. I think the connection in TVs is going to play a big part in the next one. And like I said before, if you read the comics, you sort of understand that these are like kind of portals between things and all that, especially if you use mirrors, for example. And then the next bit is the kids, and we have 6 really going to town on the one kid. So it seems to be, I don't know how to put it, but they are either surviving or fighting through, which is pretty obvious. But these kids look pretty cut and dry the same. So I wonder if these are somewhat like what the Shadow Kids would have been, or what they become, or if it's anything in that sort of correlation. But it's really interesting to see that, you know, you're hitting one over the head with a weapon. A weapon, ladies and gentlemen. Do we, in Little Nightmares 2, have weapons to defend ourselves? That is one of the most interesting parts of this already. But yeah, so we got the Fake 6, I don't know what to call it there. But then this is awfully interesting as well. You get the more you go through this trailer, you realise that actually they're showing quite a lot. And I wonder if it's because it's... So we have our original sort of Fake 6, whoever that's going to be. But then this person is also a very interesting one. And I feel like this person is the one who was here. And as you can see, as we go further in the game... the one that was here. And then as we go into the game, we get the guy here again. So I wonder if we're going back and forth between the worlds, you see. So there's definitely a going back and forth within like levels, maybe. Who knows what it's going to be? That would be really interesting. But as you can see on this freeze frame, especially with the kids, we seem to have that same sort of shadow face, like the Shadow Children. So I find that pretty interesting in itself. But with that being said, let's continue. But yeah, this looks interesting. This looks like it was on the level of the forest. Sorry if I'm rambling too much. I'm really trying to hold the excitement in. So this is another thing that really has thrown me off. I'd like to assume it's another playable character that you might choose, and it's some sort of child. And it seems to have a face mask or something covered, and that scares the bejeebers out of me. But bonus points if you can figure out where that's from before I start explaining. So with this, it just seems to be like either someone who's helping you explore, but the sizes of this character to me look like it's a child sort of thing still. So I'm really interested to see where we're going to go with this one. But I wondered if we could see a bit of a chain here, like on our last one. But I can't see anything in particular, so I'm just going to assume this is definitely a new character. But bonus points time. So, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think this person is? And do you recognise her? I'll give you a second. So, remember in Little Nightmares 1, and we had the picture frames of all the characters. This is one of the characters, especially in the Residence, I believe it was. And this is the one with the funny face, and she looks to be like a teacher. But yeah, why has she left this apple uneaten? And it seems to me like she is teaching children. As we can see, we got a head here. So I wonder. But this is quite interesting. Like, so we can assume, and I don't know why I assume it, but I think it's safe to assume that this is definitely going to be before Little Nightmares, the first one. Just because I wondered why they had a picture of this character before we've ever seen her. We might be getting explained what's gone on between, but that's something we might have to explore further. Getting big inside vibes here, but I don't know if that's because I'm working on the theory or not. But we got the new City 6, let's say. City 6 has a nice ring to it, and then we got the 6 that we're going to be playing probably. But I feel like it's definitely going to be a 2-player game. And here we are yet again. So many drops have been made within the first Little Nightmares to the new one. I mean, who doesn't recognise this picture? The floating beds. Especially they had it in a, what was it? They had it on the frames, and I forget where it was in the level, but they had this when we data mined and showed it to everyone. So, yet again, it's really interesting. And yet again, they're still climbing through. Good old mechanics with the tightrope, with the cloth cut down. And then this is something really interesting. Like, we have a whole sort of puppet room, if you would. But they're very much real things. Like, let's go back here. Nope, we're going to go about that. But let's go back here. And it seems, yes, again, we've got our weapon. The rip-off sort of 7, whoever this is, seems to be pinning down this hand. I wonder if these are going to be enemies in the new game. But this room in particular looks really interesting. Like, it's another craftsman. It's another craft bench, and it seems to me they're making puppets, literally, into new extremes. Let's just say that, for instance. And then the bed. And this definitely is a hospital bed. I mean, there's no argument about it. We've got the side. And this definitely looks like an old-timey place because obviously we don't have any monitors, any things like that going on, or they are just that deprived of these sort of things. But we see a IV bag and, stuff going into it. We see bandages, all that jazz, privacy curtain, a wash basin, and obviously sides with medicine and stuff. What's really interesting, I see two arms. I mean, I see two legs. I see an arm, but I don't see a head. I see two arms, but I don't see an head. And that's kind of freaky to me. And I just wonder if it's correlation with this whole making people. I wonder if they took it a step further and they've started to, really experiment with that. And something that's really cool about this shot, and I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it's very reminiscent of like a Tale of Two Brothers, if you know what I mean. So like one's helping the other out. It seems like we're not going to be able to get through this without each other. And that's definitely an indication maybe of a two-player game, which to me is really exciting. I'll have to get Leanne to play that. But yeah, jumping over, grabbing it. And as you can see here, it's not the typical classmates. They seem to be of their own sort of kind in this world. And obviously we have our characters here. And I feel like obviously these are going to be the ones that are chasing us that were further back here. Let me just see it. So yeah, so the ones that were here, I feel like are obviously these ones. So that's interesting to see they've got some sort of education going on. But yeah, so we've got obviously the mistress or whatever you want to call her with her cane. That's interesting to find that they've still going down the cane route of punishment. That was actually disbanded many years ago. So really interesting. So we've got a definite throwback here. But yeah, got a lot of books. Students are willing to learn. So here we have another image of the whole staring at the TV, being memorized by the whole portally thingamajig. And this armchair and ashtray looks exactly like the one on the moor. So I wonder if this is the either moor area or a correlation between them. And what's really interesting I wanted to bring about this one is it's so reminiscent to what we saw at the end of the DLC. The only difference is maybe the armchair and the toy in the middle playing the game. But it seems to be some sort of throwback. And then there we have it. The big thing here is we've got the man again at the end of the DLC. It's the strange mystery man. I can't remember what he was called originally in the data files, but either this is the hangman guy or not hangman guy. I'm sorry. Maybe it's Dr. No, but this is the strange figure that we saw at the end of the game. But this time we've got a bit more of a torso rather than everything else in between it. And I just wonder if this is the guy behind all the items. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, 2020. Mark the calendar. I'm really excited. I'm so glad they're going to do this. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. 2020, sometime next year, it's coming out. Oh my God, I am ecstatic. I cannot wait to see it. What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can dive further into these videos with a proper full-fledged theory of something of some sort. Or we can try to do it, but obviously all we have at the moment is a trailer and what we know of in-game. So, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, drop a like. Make sure to hit subscribe, because obviously there's going to be Little Nightmares content coming. If you've got anything to point out, let me know in the comment section below. We may revisit the trailer and see if we can see the bits that we missed initially. But yeah, if you guys saw something in particular, let me know. Put a comment and a timestamp in below. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video with me. Sorry there's no webcam. I sometimes don't feel like the need to do webcam, because the bigger picture here is Little Nightmares 2, not my face, not my ugly. Mind you, my ugly face would fit in well with the universe. Anyway, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching. And I will see you all in the next theory video. Bye.